Okay. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. Let's go. Hello everyone, my name is Hex and welcome to the battlefield. Today's appointment, it's a movie review. And today's object of dissection is going to be none other than 2008's Iron Man. Marvel's attempt to build a cinematic universe and monster at the same time. So what can be said about this movie that it hasn't been already? Well, for the first part, the production of this movie was hell. It seems that the script for this particular movie wasn't even finished when production started. It seems that RDJ and Jeff Bridges had to create and come up with their own dialogue pieces. They exchanged their own dialogue in order to see if it fit their own characters. Not only wasn't the script finished, but also production was late for almost everything. It seems almost impossible to think that this movie actually came out the way it did. A lot of lines had to be left in the cutting room floor. This movie was saved in post-production, believe it or not. Believe it or not, this movie was saved in post-production, a testament to the abilities of those who work on the film. Jon Favreau did a great, excellent job directing this movie. Yeah, there are some instances of shaky cam and dodgy CGI, but come on, it was 2008. It was supposed to be expected. Not every movie can just magically age like fine wine. But let us go back into the movie itself and other production. So, the main character of this movie is called Tony Stark. He makes you feel he's the coolest guy with a heart of steel. Cool theme song aside, Tony is an arms dealer. He's a billionaire. He's a genius. But he's also kind of a dick. After an incident that killed his family, he inherited the whole company, alongside with Obadiah Stane, his business partner. This movie is about the transformation of a man, from child to adult, from egotistical narcissist to hero. The plot of the movie revolves around this issue, in which Tony gets hurt by his own weapons, and as a consequence, he has to carry an arc reactor to keep his heart beating. So he gets hurt with his own weapon. After this incident, he then gets transported to a cave alongside Ho Jinsen, another scientist. They are being kept together so they can make weapons for the Ten Rings, a terrorist organization. Long story short, we get the best scene in the movie, Tony working. We get a montage of Tony building the first Iron Man armor. We actually get to see him work. We see him develop the armor, all of the systems and the weapons, and how he's going to use it actually escape from this cave. Sadly, the escape wasn't 100% clean. So Jinsen dies and Tony escapes. And then we get to see him come back to America. From then on, we see Tony and his character building up and having a strong moral core from now on, taking his science and his technology into the right direction, stop manufacturing weapons and actually putting the weapons that he already has into good use. The enemy in this movie is Obadiah Stane, the other side of the coin in the business in which Tony operates. We get to see them interacting in one-to-one conversations about the state of the business, what they're going to do now, the possibility of actually going back to the weapon system. Right now, Tony has changed. Tony is now a man of principle. Tony is now decided that he's going to become a better person, and that now he's going to use that technology for the betterment of mankind. Throughout the movie, we see him develop the other suits, the Mark II, the Mark III, and we get another scene with Obadiah Stane as a final battle. The pacing of this movie is an issue. It may be too fast for its own benefit, because as you see, as a consequence of the pacing of this movie being so fast, a lot of characters do not get the time to shine and develop. But it's okay, this is Tony's movie. We're going to see them develop in other movies, in other installments. But at the same time, you wish they had enough time in the script for all of them. I wish we got to see a more developed Obadiah Stane, one that actually has more valid points to argue with Tony. Because in this installment, it seems that he's only preoccupied by greed. But you know, greed can be a good motivator sometimes, but it seems rather shallow at this point, especially considering the lengths he's willing to go. So the same way Johnny Depp is Captain Jack Sparrow and Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, RDJ is Iron Man, and there's nothing in this movie that is not going to convince you otherwise. The movie is fun, explosive, and exciting. And yeah, some of the pieces of dialogue have not aged well, and the camera work, you can see that it needed some refinement. But the directing and the acting himself, is just good. But this is supposed to be a review, not just a fanboying all the way to, I don't know, Mars, whatever. You want me to give you an honest opinion of this movie? Well, the final score for this movie, with all of its problems and benefits, it's a 7.5 out of 10. For the movie that started it all, this is a great first step. But it's just that, a first step. You can see the growing pains that this franchise is going to have. And we're going to discuss them when we get there. But at the moment, go see this movie. It's not like you have something better to do. And you know, with that being said, just go watch the movie. It's still fun. It doesn't hold up as we wanted, but it holds up nonetheless. Hex out.